Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. This is our first video in the HTML course. Before we get started, first we need to understand what is HTML exactly. Well, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and hypertext are simply texts which are displayed on your computer or on any other electronic device, through which you can access some other texts. So the hypertext documents are simply documents which are connected to one another through hyperlinks. Now let's move on to the markup language. The markup language is a computer language which is composed of a set of tags. These tags are used to define our elements, and the two most popular markup languages are the HTML and the XML. In this course, we are interested in the HTML. The HTML is the basic building block in the web development process. In order to be a strong web developer, you need to know the HTML because the HTML is the base of the web development. It describes and defines the structure of our web page. Also, the HTML contains series of elements because, as we've mentioned, that we use these tags to define our elements. So the HTML is series of elements, and we use tags to define each element. And each element has an opening tag and a closing tag. Well, now the question is, where are we going to write down our code? Well, we can simply use the Notepad, or we can use some other editor such as the Notepad++, Eclipse, Atom, Sublime, and Visual Studio Code, and so on. So in this tutorial, we are going to use one of these editors. Why? Because all the companies are using these editors, and you're not going to go to any company where they are using the Notepad. So we're going to use one of these editors because we need to understand how to use the editors and how to be familiar with them. So which editor are we going to pick? For me, in this tutorial, I'm going to use the Visual Studio Code. And I have two reasons for that. The first reason is that the Visual Studio Code has some tools and some extensions which are going to help us in the development process. And the second reason is that the Visual Studio Code is one of the editors which is used in most of the companies. So you need to be familiar with that editor. So now let's download the Visual Studio Code on our computers. Now all you have to do is just to go in here and type Visual Studio Code, and then click on the first link, and then click download for Windows. In case you have different operating system, Linux or Mac, then go down and download it. Now that we have installed our Visual Studio Code in our computers, we are ready to start our coding. So that's it for today's video, and in the next video we're going to start the coding itself. So see you guys in the next video.